Yo, what's up guys, Dan here, and today we're going to be talking about making your footage more cinematic. Tip 1 is adding black bars. This is a little bit of a cheat, but it works. We're basically mimicking the cinemascope or anamorphic look that most movies are shot in. The normal ratio in which most of our cameras, like the mirrorless that I'm currently shooting on now, shoot in an aspect ratio of 9:16. Cinemascope shoots in 2.35:1. When this image is displayed in a cinema due to the width of the image, that creates an effect called letterboxing, and that's what we're going to be doing. You want to drop an adjustment layer on the top of your timeline and add a crop effect. I like to have this set at 11% top and 11% bottom. So let's bring those black bars in now, and would you look at that? Instantly more cinematic. Tip 2, the 180-degree shutter rule. If you're shooting in a cinematic style, then you want to be shooting at 24 frames a second or 23.976 frames a second. And to follow the 180-degree shutter rule, you want to have your shutter speed set to exactly double what your frame rate is. So if you're shooting at 24 frames a second, you want your shutter speed to be set at 1/48. Not all cameras can do this, so sometimes you will have to go to 1/50, but that's fine. Tip 3 is stabilization. We want our footage to be nice and smooth, and there's a few different ways to be able to achieve this. The first way is by using a camera strap. Just attach your camera strap to your camera, put it over your neck, and pull it nice and tight. This is adding an extra point of contact, so it's going to help you get in those smoother shots. Another way is by tucking your elbows into yourself and creating more of a solid, sturdy frame. You can try adding extra weight to your camera by rigging it out with a cage, top handle, side handles. Basically, the heavier your camera is, the more stable your shot will be. Obviously, there is the gimbal route as well, and we can't forget the ninja walk. Tip 4, lighting. This is mainly for a more controlled environment, and because lighting is a whole world within itself, it can be a whole series of videos, and I don't really want to ramble, so I'm going to talk about one specific lighting technique that you can use to instantly create a more cinematic look. This technique is called Rembrandt lighting. Rembrandt was a famous Dutch painter, and he was very well known for his style of painting lighting. You want to create some form of a backlight or a hair light, and you want to place your subject so that light is coming from one side of their face. If you look here, you'll be able to see a little triangle, which is known as the Rembrandt triangle. Tip 5. This isn't a must, but using it in the correct places, it will really help to sell that cinematic look. As you can see here, using a few of the techniques we've already spoken about with slow motion, it definitely creates more of a cinematic look. The 6th tip is depth of field. You want to get a nice, close, isolated subject with really blurry backgrounds and nice bokeh. Ideally, to do this, you will need a lens with a reasonably large aperture, like f1.4, and if you're worried about money, you can pick up the Canon Nifty 50, which is an f1.8 and very cheap, or you can pick up vintage lenses for very, very cheap as well, which also go down to f1.8. Tip 7, lifting the blacks. I like to do this just a little bit, just to create a little bit more of that washed out filmic look. Don't overdo it because it can really ruin your image, but you can do this by going into your curves panel, create these points to retain the rest of the information, and then just lift the black up the left hand side until you're happy with how everything looks. If you gained anything from this video today, please leave a like and consider subscribing if you would like to see more from me. Peace!